Welcome to the DC Sports Buzz. It's February 7th, 2013. I'm rocking the red. Kevin, what are you doing out there in LA?
I think I'll be rocking the red. This is my red surrender flag. Let it stop. Let the pain stop. I mean, every season we think this is finally going to be the season the Capitals are going to win. They won 2 games on the season and they just lose. It's not even a heartbreaker anymore. We're used to it by now. They lose 5-2 in Pittsburgh. This used to be a rivalry, Michael. This used to be the matchup in the NHL, Crosby versus Ovechkin. Now it is just a joke, right?
Yeah, it used to be a balance. Maybe the Caps would win some, the Penguins win some. Now it's all Pittsburgh. They pass the puck all the way around the Cap zone. They score from every angle. It looks like an NHL '98 video game out there, Kevin, when Pittsburgh plays Washington.
It would actually help if they put little targets. Maybe they put a trash can here at different angles, and then the players can shoot it and try to bank goals because they're not scoring any regular strength goals here. They're scoring some power play goals, but the only regular strength goals they score are fluky ones. And it's not like they've had any strong goaltending here, Michael. We got to talk about this to start off. Yep. After the playoffs last year, it looked like Hopi was going to be the guy. He had a chance to be the guy, and neither of these guys are playing well. Hopi's 1-4, Nugi's 1-5. I think neither of these guys are in the top 40 in any statistical category, and there's 30 teams in the NHL.
I mean, I don't know how that's actually possible. I mean, you've got a guy ranked, I think, 42nd in the league in goals against average, and then the other guy is ranked 60th in the league. Like, how is that possible when there's 30 teams? So you're saying me the backup goalie, basically, on half the teams in the league, or on all the teams in the league, are better at least one of the Caps goalies. Right now, you get 2 mediocre goaltenders. They're not playing well, as is the rest of the team not playing well. Usually if you have a hot goaltender, you can kind of ride him for a little bit. He can steal a game or two, from you. But right now you've got mediocrity across the board.
Yeah, and this team's very fragile, and there's soft goals letting in from the defense, and this team cannot rebound. They don't have the offense to do it. So the question is, there's plenty of blame to go around, Michael. How much blame do you put on Adam Oates? Was that a good hire? George McPhee loves to hire coaches that have their first year of NHL experience with the Capitals. Yet another with Adam Oates. What do you think about the hire right now?
Kevin, I never thought I'd say this, but I actually miss Dale Hunter hockey. I miss the 2-1, 1-0 games. I'd go to the arena. You'd maybe see a goal if you're lucky. You go with your date or your girlfriend, and you're like, I can't wait to cheer when the Caps score. And then, you go to the bathroom and they score the goal, and that's the only goal they score the whole game. So I really miss Dale Hunter hockey. I'm starting to question whether, I know it's early, but I mean, Adam Oates, keep hiring these ex-players that have never been a head coach before. I'm starting to wonder whether this is the right type of moves that McPhee is making.
Here's the thing. I said Adam Oates was a good hire when it happened. I still think Adam Oates is a good hire. He's had a little bit of bad luck. He's got a new system. He's a first-year head coach, and he's a coach that really would have benefited from a full training camp with a shortened season, a new system for the players to learn. Not to mention, this is a mentally fragile team here in Washington. So I think Adam Oates walked into a good situation, but things started to go bad quickly, and he could not turn it around. I still think this is a right hire. I think this is more of a timing situation, but the question is whether the Capitals will pull themselves out of this hole. As I said, plenty of blame to go around, not just with Oates, but you got to look at the players. I don't think this is a problem with Oates. I think it's a problem with the players, and it starts with Alex Ovechkin up front. So here's my question to you, Michael. Do you move toward trying to trade Alex Ovechkin?
No, I mean, I think that's a ridiculous question. I mean, I don't know why in sports when a team or players struggle for such a short period of time, like let's say a 10-game stretch like we're at right now, especially in a new system, why all of a sudden we want to run the guy out of town. I mean, here's a guy that they made the franchise player. They packed the arenas. He's, the captain of this team. And, here he's struggling right now, obviously, with this new system. He's getting paid a lot of money. His trade value is so low right now, you won't get anything for return for him.
How could you say this is a knee-jerk reaction? How could you say this is an all-of-a-sudden kind of thing? Ovechkin has declined every single year. I'm going to take this standpoint right now. I think Ovechkin is now a flawed player. He's going to be on the Capitals' books until 2021. He's got 3 goals on the season. I don't think the Capitals can move toward trading him for no value, but I think there's no player on this roster that's untouchable. If you find a good deal for Ovechkin, you have to take it. My worry with this team is this. I think that this group of young guns, they've grown up together on this team, but I think with all the playoff woes and sorrow they've had, they look around the room and they don't trust each other can get it done, and it starts with Alex Ovechkin. He couldn't even get Alex Semin, his best friend on the team, to buy in. How's he going to get the rest of the team to buy in? So I think you have to look to trade Ovechkin. You're not going to cut him. You're going to look to trade him because I think he right now is what's wrong with this Washington team. He's paid, he's fat, he's bloated. And remember, he said here during the strike in this lockout season that he's fine staying in Russia if they don't pay him what he wants.
Yeah, but what are you going to trade him for? A bag of potato chips? I mean, come on. I mean, you're not going to get anything for return. You probably have to pay his salary if you do trade him to somebody else, and you'll get, you know what, a couple bags of chips and, you know, probably just garbage in return.
First you said it was one bag of chips. Now you're saying it's a couple bags
All
of
right,
chips.
I mean, I'm throwing an extra bag, okay? I want Ovechkin on my team.
Here's the thing. Alex Ovechkin is still well respected around the league. There are plenty of executives that would give you, and keep in mind, you're never going to get equal value for Ovechkin, but there are plenty of executives around there that would entertain a trade talk and give you good value for Ovechkin. Don't think they wouldn't. So here's my question to you, Michael. Predict this season. What do you think is going to happen right now as we sit? Is this a playoff team here in Washington?
Kevin, you know what? I remember a couple of years ago being in Verizon Center with people with paper bags over their heads. I was not one of them, but there were people around there with paper bags over their heads. And the coach got fired the next day. They brought in a new coach, and the Caps went on an incredible run. Not saying they're going to make a coaching change or they're going to go on this incredible run, but it can happen. It's hockey. You win a few games in a row, the team gets confident. You get a guy like Brooks Laich back in the lineup. He provides some spark to your team, and you can go on a run and grab the 8th seed in the playoffs, and you never know what can happen once you get in the playoffs. So, Kevin, I think it's not out of the question for this team to sneak into the playoffs and go on a little bit of a run here coming up.
Listen, I'm a huge Caps fan, but maybe I should put my bag over my head with listening to the comments you're making. You're such a homer. The Capitals team, and it pains me to say this, they have dug themselves too big of a hole. And the problem is, with this shortened season, Eastern Conference only plays Eastern Conference, which means that someone is always getting a point. So these teams the Capitals are chasing, they're going to lose a game to the Western Conference opponents and have nobody take a point there. They're always going to be taking points. This team is too far in the hole. This team is going to be a seller at the deadline. I think you're going to look and see some big moves that are going to be made. George McPhee will keep his job. Oates will keep his job. But I think you're going to see some players that get traded, Michael. Big things are going to happen here in Washington, not in a good way.
I mean, I disagree, Kevin. I mean, this is a team that, granted, you know, take away the Pittsburgh games, who Pittsburgh has been playing exceptionally well the past 2 weeks. I mean, the Caps have been in a lot of games. Granted, a loss is a loss, but they've lost. It's not like they're getting blown out every single night. They're losing by a goal. They're making a couple little dumb mistakes here and there. But you even look at the players and ask them, they say they're so close for things to start clicking. And I think once things on Oates' new system starts to click, this team can start playing well, and they can string a few victories together. And you never know. You string 4 or 5 together, Kevin, I know it's easier said than done. You can be right back in the hunt for the 8th seed.
That's the last thing I'll say. I was in Vegas, and I put my money down. I bet on the Capitals to win the Stanley Cup playoffs. That's not going to happen this year because they aren't even going to make the playoffs. If you have a question, comment, hit us up at sportsbuzzdc@gmail.com. That's all we got for us here today on the DC Sports Buzz. That was our top 5 here. Focusing on the Capitals, Mike Owen. It is not good. For Mike O, this is KC. We'll see you guys soon.
Go Caps.